Hey y'all, I'm back with my March 2025 reading wrap up, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. Y'all, I am back to talk about the books I read in the month of March. I read a total of 9 books. One of them was an audiobook, and the other 8 books I read on my Kindle. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with my audiobook read. Y'all, this book was so good. It is Black dystopian. I have been craving Black fantasy, Black dystopian, and so this book really hit the spot. And this book is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. This book is really interesting because it's a dystopian book, and so it's set in America where the president at this time has set a law that there can be this new sector of sports. It's called hard contact sports. The biggest sport that is taking over hard contact sports right now is Chain Gang All-Stars. So the premise of this is that prisoners who have at least 25 years on their sentence can sign up to participate in these games, and what happens is they become part of a chain. And you go onto these battlefields with a weapon that is randomly chosen, and you have to fight for your life. And as you kill people, the more you progress. If you survive 3 years and make it up the ranks, you get to be free. They call it high free. Low free is when you become free by being unalived. We get multiple perspectives in this book. It is told in third person, I believe. You get perspectives of protesters who are so against hard contact sports. We get fans who love this sport and who watch it every day. Not only are you seeing these games pay-per-view style and you can go to the arenas and watch these fights, they're also a reality TV show that shows their journey to the game, and they're making lots and lots of money off these prisoners. And it's really heartbreaking because you want to fight for these prisoners to be free and to not have to deal with this. But then you remember that there's a reason they have 25 to life. Like, some of these people have unalived people. They have the R-word people. And it's like hard to root for them. And I also think that is why this game is so successful. And they talk about this in the book. It's because people do not care that these people are dying because they are criminals. They've done bad things. And also they are Black and brown people. The most people in these games are Black. You do get backstories on how some of these prisoners even got in prison. There was one person who didn't have a good lawyer, and so they got 25 to life for something they didn't even do. And so that was sad. I love that the author also gives you backstory and facts on what is prison life like, what is solitude and solitary like, how some of these people are starved and barely given food, how women are treated, get tough treatment, and how they're punished when they try to petition and speak up for themselves. Like, there was so much backstory. There were so many characters that we got to see their backstories unfold, and you were kind of hoping that they survive, but you know everybody can't survive in a hard contact sport like this. It was a lot. It was gruesome, but it was so good. All the multiple perspectives. I give this book 5 stars. I ate it up. I'm so sad that this author doesn't have more dystopian books because I just want more books just like this. So I recommend y'all read it. There are some heavier topics, but I do think that this was a good book, and it really got you thinking. Really got you thinking about prison life, and it just feels like this is really something that could happen. And I love dystopian books that feel like, yes, this could happen. And especially when the book really centers Black and brown people, and it really shines a light on that harsh treatment that Black and brown people get in these prisons and how overpopulated they are by Black and brown people because of the justice system. The next book that I read in the month of March was Rugger by Huffington. This is book 3 in the Grey List series, and y'all, Rugger is my favorite one to date. Oh my God, I was so excited to read this one because Rugger is the one who plays no games. She will eliminate you. And the girl is back in town with a vengeance. She runs into someone who is getting to these enemies before her. And come to find out, this man is doing it to get her attention. He just wants a date. His name is Psalm. And Psalm is definitely giving book husband vibes. Yes, an assassin is giving book husband vibes because he came into Rugger's life and just wanted to give her love. He's like, you are my equal. You are my match. I just want to love you and be there for you. And he just understood her. Like, he was gifting her with weapons. And I just thought it was so beautiful reading a book about somebody who's so different and whose interests are so different. But here is somebody who is just like you, and they're willing to love you in the way that you didn't know you needed to be loved, but in a way that is so perfect for you. So this book did not have a huge plot. It was really the two of them just operating together as two assassins, falling for one another, the two of them going on dates, the gifts, the money spent. I like a man who is spending money and also showing a lot of love. Like, all the love languages were being met in this book. I just loved every second of reading this book. I give it 5 stars. So definitely my favorite book in the Grey List series. After reading Rather and Rugger, which were both 5-star books, and also reading Chain Gang All-Stars, that was a 5-star read, I found myself in a reading slump for the rest of the month. But I did not stop reading. As I said, I got 9 books done. But I will say it was hard for me to find that book that just captured my attention and that I just fully enjoyed the way I enjoy Rather, Rugger, and Chain Gang All-Stars. So let's get into my next read. I've been wanting to read some Christina C. Jones for a minute now, so I decided to read Hostile Takeover, Blackwood Billions by Christina C. Jones. This book was unlike any one that I've read by her. I will say it was good and I did enjoy it. In this book, we get introduced to Nalani Stark, and she is the director of her family's grocery store. It's a Black-owned grocery store. It gives Whole Food vibes, and I just love that this is a Black-owned store. And they also have little mini shops with other Black entrepreneurs in the community. And I just love the Black entrepreneurship in this book. And so Nalani finds out that her father has sold the location, the building, and they are in the middle of a hostile takeover. So in comes Orion Sterling, who is trying to not only buy the business, but he has the building leased as well. But he tells her that he will give her the building back if she signs a contract and gets into this union with him. Nalani feels like her back is against the wall, and she gets into this union, signs the contract, and the two of them are together. I do love the dynamic of Orion and Nalani, but I will say this book was not giving typical marriage of convenience or relationship of convenience or fake dating. The usual plot that these stories have, which is, yes, the relationship starts off as fake or for convenience, but they end up developing real feelings and falling in love. I do feel like this book was not giving a lot of relationship building. Yes, the two of them became closer and built a trust, but I don't feel like they really fell in love. But actually, I was okay with that because this book really highlighted family drama. These two families were connected in the past, and so Nalani is discovering the truth. There are a lot of secrets that are unfolding. I still thought it was a really good book and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. The next 3 books that I'm going to go over were some spicy novellas.
The first one is His Weekend Special novella by Endiya Carter.
I ate up the Danger Brothers series by Endiya Carter, and I have been craving more from this author. This book was giving age gap romance, cougar love. We have the main character who is in her 40s, and she starts messing around with her son's best friend who is 27. She is head over heels for this little young guy, and he is child. his maturity was questionable, but I still did enjoy the book because the spice was pretty good. So I give this one 4 stars. The next 2 books are part of a series of novellas by BriAnn Danae. The first one is Talk to Me Nicely, and the second one is Turn Me Out. And these are part of BriAnn Danae's erotic love language series. I gave both of these books 5 stars. Y'all, they were short, to the point, spicy, black characters, romance, not much romance, but it was a lot of spice, child. So the next book is Taming Kane, a dark paranormal romance by Tessa Stone, and this is book 1 in her Fated Mate series. Now, these books are paranormal romance. I will say I DNF'd this book at first, like by the first page. Y'all, on the first page, this werewolf shifter is pouring his heart out, broken, because they have this curse that is happening because the shifters lost the war against the humans, and because of this they will be lost to their mates. And so he's crying his heart out because he won't be able to find his mate. I get the yearning, and a little yearning is cute, but I felt like he was doing too much. It wasn't giving what it needed to give. But I will say I like the drama in this story. I enjoy the romance. I enjoyed them starting their life together, the spice. I give this book 3 stars because Kane was doing too much, but this was the first book in the series, and I think it's a setup for the next stories to have more action in them, and hopefully they aren't as thirsty as Kane was. Because I was in a reading slump, and the Grey List series at this point only had 3 books, which were Chemistry, Rather, and Rugger. Book 4, which is Roulette, was released on March 28th. And so because I had to wait for the next book and I was feeling in a reading slump, I decided to reread some of my favorite books by Gray Huffington. So I did a reread of Lyric, which is a part of the Eisenberg Effect series. I enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars again. It was a really good experience. I loved it just the same rereading it, like I didn't read it first last year. And I also reread Mercer, which is a part of the Berkeley Bread series by Gray Huffington. And this is another one that I still give 4 stars, and I really did enjoy.
Hey y'all, I completely forgot that I read one more book, and that is All I've Wanted, All I've Needed by A.E. Valdez. I give this book 3 stars. I absolutely love that the main characters, Asin and Harlow, built a natural friendship. However, this book was extremely slow burn, but I do love me some Asin.
So let's talk about some books that I am currently reading that I probably will not finish because I literally have one more day in the month of March, and I doubt these 3 books will get finished within 24 hours. The first book is, of course, Roulette by Gray Huffington. I could not wait to download this book on March 28th, and I started reading it on March 29th. The next book that I am in the process of reading is Taming Gabriel, which is the second book in the Fated Mate series by Tessa Stone. I will say I was excited to read Gabriel because he did not seem as thirsty as his brother Kane. I did start to see his desperation for his mate as well, which I think that's just how it is with these shifters and them really wanting to meet their mate and them seeing other shifters be mated, and they're just, wondering when will their time come. The last book that I am reading currently is an audiobook read. The other 2 are Kindle reads. Y'all, I have started Oathbound by Tracy Deonn, which is book 3 in the Legendborn series, and when I tell y'all, I have been enjoying it so far. This feels different from her other books. I feel like things are clicking. I'm understanding things better. We're also getting more black characters, which y'all know I've been asking for that since book 1. I did get more black characters in book 2, and then you get 2 more black characters in book 3. I was like, okay, right in the prologue, we get introduced to black twins. We also get different perspectives, so we're not in Bree's head the entire time, which I think is a nice break, because Bree's character was getting really annoying. I will say that narrator who does Maria and the voices of Valak, that southern accent is killing me, but I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep going because it's really interesting. I am a little concerned that this book is giving filler. I feel like book 2, Bloodmark, was a filler book as well, where it was just giving backstory. There wasn't a lot of plot. There wasn't a lot of action happening. And I feel like this book is giving that so far too. I've felt like I've listened to it for 2 days, but I'm only in chapter 11 of like 50 something chapters. And so far I haven't gotten to any action. It's Bri again, learning, trying to learn how to use her rootcraft magic. And so I feel like when Bri is in this phase of learning and figuring things out, I feel like a lot of the action stalls so that we can get all this backstory information. Now, the backstory information is good, and I like that we're getting perspectives of other characters. But I do want some action, and I do want it soon. So I'm hoping that that'll happen. This book will continue to be very enjoyable. Y'all, that's it for the books that I've read in the month of March and that I started in the month of March and will probably finish in April. Get down in the comments and let me know what was your favorite book of March. And thank you again for tuning in to a Books with Kimberly video.